was on before. Is it on right now?
It's on right now.
So you guys, the mic is on.
Okay.
So
Okay.
no dirty jokes.
We'll try not to.
Are you presenting?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to sit like maybe right there?
Okay.
And then I'll kind of get this.
Do you want the computer
Do
here?
you have one computer?
Yeah.
So you'll be sharing that. Yeah. So if you put it there, so the people over here can kind of see.
We have one. How do you want the computer? I'm sorry.
I'll take that back. How about you sit like over here?
Oh, okay.
He is the camera guy. Could tell us how to make this. All right.
Musical chairs. I'm sorry.
that's
How about
okay.
you're at the head of the table and then we'll just
Back
kind of
over
put the
here?
computer in front of you. You need to sit. Are you okay if you were kind of like this?
So I'm just gonna put it like this.
Yeah. So whoever's
Okay.
speaking can share that mic. And
Oh, this one?
yeah.
Okay.
And then the participants will share the other mic.
Oh, okay.
Sorry for the. You guys can share that one.
I wanted to actually talk about. I wanted to say at the symposiums, this is our focus.
Well, you should have somebody here.
Thank you.
We're going to come visit you so we can fill the audience.
Perfect.
Everyone's afraid of being on TV today.
They don't like to be on live stream,
All right.
but we'll hear more about your project.
Yeah.
So my name's Monica. Okay, so we are the Eastside Alliance, ILC, and
It's on.
Is it good? Oh, okay. And I'm Bernadette Salguerino. I'm one of the math coordinators for the Santa Clara County Office of Education. And this is
I'm Shannon Engel. I am a TOSA, a math coach, and a math teacher. And we have a third member is Keely Berg, and she was just promoted to vice principal, and she's in the Oak Grove district.
So it's a collaboration between the Santa Clara County Office of Education, the Silicon Valley Education Foundation, and the 8 school districts comprising the Eastside Alliance. So we are actually working with the 7 feeder school districts into the Eastside Union High School District. So a total of 8 school districts where we are supporting about 85,000 students. The Eastside Alliance through the Silicon Valley Education Foundation has these metrics as well. And so as they're kind of like speaking about their support for students into life after high school, we thought about the opportunity to say, hey, the ILC is an opportunity to kind of like align their work into supporting students and teachers in what they define as successful after high school or success after high school. So the Eastside Alliance has many different committees like the Superintendent's Council, the Advisory Steering Committee, Collaborative Committee, Operations Committee. But thank you for coming to one of those presentations, because now Instructional Leadership Corps is a phrase, a sentence, a name into all the work that we do for Eastside Alliance. So they do also have a vision and mission, and when we saw that, we thought about, taking this opportunity to truly leverage what we can do to support teachers, but more importantly, the students.
So within our group, we have these 3 levels, and one of the levels is the symposiums. We've been doing the symposiums. This is our 3rd year, 4th year. 4th year. The first 2 years, the symposiums were focused on Common Core standards for the teachers to kind of break them down and kind of see what they were about. We even had Phil Darrow come to one of the symposiums, which was really nice. And last year, our focus was on formative assessments, and the teachers were able to see what formative assessments were. We were able to give them, if you want to go back to our 4 domains, Of course, our students are always the focus, but then we're able to give them content for the formative assessments because our symposiums are math focused, instruction, and then the claims. So the symposiums were really helpful, very strong feedback. Our focus is on the high school, middle school, and this year we are adding in the elementary teachers, which I think is a huge part to it, and our PLCs. And the PLCs are the follow-up from the symposiums in their cohorts to keep doing that refining of the skills that we give them. So we talked about the symposiums, and one of the big parts of the symposiums that the teachers requested were videos of teachers showing the things that they wanted to see, and it kind of brought everything to light, what we were trying to get across. The middle school and the high schools are obviously a focus right now, especially bridging to high school, the 7 districts feeding into the high school. It was crucial for them to collaborate together. Mathematics toolkit, that is going to be our focus of this year's symposiums. We're going to be creating a toolkit to be able to give to the administrators, the teachers, to be able to implement in their schools best practices and ideas that they can use. And then we have our Elevate Math brought to us from Silicon Valley Education Foundation. It started with 8th grade and it has expanded to 7th grade and 10th grade. And it's focusing on the standards and math content areas for them to be successful.
So we do provide professional development, but also coaching to teachers and for them to be able to expand the work that they do in the classroom. As what Shannon has mentioned earlier, the symposium also is kind of like shifted from, inviting big names like Phil Darrow, Callahan, and so on and so forth. We were even thinking of Joe Bowler into now teachers leading the symposium. So last year when we had the ILC, we now have, a video of Shannon's classroom being one of the highlights of symposium number 12, because teachers were clamoring for how does that look like? Phil was speaking about stepping stone, but how does that look like in the classroom? So Shannon's video has changed the course. So now we have ILC members and ILC teachers within the Eastside Alliance. We also have one from Alum Union School District and one from Eastside Union School District to be now collaborating and working to plan how the next symposiums would look like. So that has changed a lot. But also as we kind of expand our work, the toolkit also is one of the focus now, because I've seen that, but will there be kind of like a document to say, this is how we can support you, and this is what are some of the examples that you can use to make this happen in the classroom. So we did learn a lot in the in the year that we've worked with the Eastside Alliance. First is truly to work with teachers to build leadership, their capacity to do that work, and more so about their feedback saying this is not working and this is how we should be able to make it happen in the classroom, to also supporting the initiatives that the Eastside Alliance is taking part. So we've been working with them, but also more so about giving them feedback how those initiatives are kind of like taking root in the community and making the changes and growth that we wanted to happen. So we partner with administrators as well. We use and align our efforts with LCAP, and of course, more importantly, empower and support teachers as they do their work, really hard work in the classroom. So these are the next step that we're trying to do. We now are working to, we've tried very hard last year. We've done a lot of professional development, and we've seen how that is trying to impact classrooms. Now we said we should gather a lot of evidence of student learning, videos from teachers, make a library of videos. Maybe some of them will be creating some portfolios on website, and of course use social media to kind of like network and to shout out that this is happening and you also can do it. So we would like to share with you a video of one of the attendees that
session number 1. So I'm Arlen Illa, and I teach 5th grade at Horace Cureton Elementary School in Alum Rock School District. What I really liked about session number 1 that dealt with the number talks was that last year I attended another SCOE event, and I loved it when I went there, but it was like at a hectic time of year and I forgot about it. So when I came here and I saw that again, I said, oh my God, I'm so excited, because I want my kids to be able to explain. It's going to help them with the Common Core.
Which is why it's important to have that second follow-up to keep reminding them.
So has it been difficult to do the follow-ups?
It really is a challenge to do the
Follow-up, but I think that as we try to, send emails to principals and directly kind of like create a distribution list to directly email our teachers, we're still making a good progress.
I think that you all reached like 500 educators last year, or some very large number, because this alliance has. I mean, how many different teachers are in the East Side Alliance? Like those, I know there's 85,000 students, but a lot of teachers, and you're focusing on mathematics, and so now when you're moving into elementary school, the multiple subject teachers, and I'm wondering, because you've tended to work with people who kind of have been, more voluntarily participating. Oh, this means we have 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I'm wondering, are you thinking of some different strategies that you're going to try with the, now that you're going to be working with elementary teachers, or what are you thinking about that?
So the initial plan is, I think that based off of the feedback last year, the plan of having, the general symposium and then 3 sessions follow-up from different cohorts kind of like worked. And so we will try to pattern it, but we will work small this school year. We just initial symposium for everyone else, because I think we have more teachers in the 3. We will try to focus on 4 through 6 first, and that's about 280 teachers. or more. And that's going to be huge. And then strategically thinking of 2 cohorts where kind of like we mix our high performing feeder school districts with kind of like low, so that we can also cross-pollinate about the strategies and data and so on and so forth. And so 2 cohorts will be formed, and 2 sessions after the general symposium. And the initial plan also was to growth mathematical mindset being our main theme for this year, hoping that they will be able to have that positive outlook into supporting all and the changes that's coming, but more so about thinking that kids can do mathematics and we all can do math. So that's,
Could you tell me more just really about the logistics of the PLCs? I mean, how is the time created? Do you do it within a school or across school, or just logistically, how are those organized?
This is where the East Side Alliance folks are helping us. So they have a point person to kind of like coordinate that. And so the point person, Dan Moser, being the former superintendent of East Side Union High School District, is gathering some of, collaboration between the feeder middle schools and the high school, and strategically choose like this high school, 3 feeder school, school sites are fitting into that. So that would be 1 cohort, 2nd cohort, and so on and so forth. And we also chose dates of each of those math. We call them the Math Collaborative. Those are sessions right after the East Side Symposium, to be strategic so that it's not we had it and then we forgot it all and no follow-up. So those follow-ups are really critical. And we talk about we've talked about this. Try it. What can we bring to make it happen? And then let's discuss how that has worked in the classroom.
Good.
Anything else?
that may be the source of some of our videos of practice. We're collecting videos. Okay, so we're moving.
One more time.
Yes. Grab some of our.
Yes, please take.
Let's take some more.
Oh, sorry, we have to make you take all this with you.
We probably can just leave it here.
Well, do you want the next team? The next group? We'll leave some here and take some. How about that?